Hi, I'm Syeda Jafri, Agent of Communications and Media Services for the Rialto Unified School District, and we are so excited to partner with Rialto Network to bring some of the great things that are happening in the Rialto Unified School District. For this show, we have from Wilmer Amina Carter High School, the 2020 Valedictorian. Her name is Jennifer Aguilar. Let's meet her along with Dr. Greg Anderson, the principal of Carter High School. Thank you for being here, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I want to first talk, and thank you, Dr. Anderson, for being here as well.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. I want to first ask you, Jennifer, where were you born? Where were you raised?
I was born in San Bernardino on May 2nd, 2002, and I was raised in Rialto, California.
You were. Did you go to elementary school and middle school in Rialto as well?
Yes. I
Where?
attended Preston Elementary, and then I attended Cole Middle School.
Just like me, by the way. Yes. See, great stuff. So you're a Cougar, and you're also a Panther. Preston Panthers, Cole Cougars, wonderful. And when you went to Carter High School, how was your experience? I know that you're the valedictorian, and I know everybody's all excited because that's the top student and top scholar of the entire school, and we'll get to that with Dr. Anderson. But what is your overall experience at Carter? What was it like?
Well, at the beginning, it was very different than elementary school and middle school environment, but I got used to it. But at first, the academics, it was very hard because the work from middle school was very different than the work from high school. But taking honors classes and taking AP classes helped me ease my way into it, and it just overall helped me get an idea of what college and everything else was going to be like later on in life.
Wonderful, Jennifer. And of course, talking to the valedictorian of Carter High School 2020, I want to jump to Dr. Anderson real quickly because Jennifer mentioned about AP classes. Can you talk a little bit about the rigor and the types of classes that Carter High School offers?
Sure. I mean, just in her talking about AP classes, advanced placement classes, those are college level classes that kids are taking while they're in high school. And a student like Jennifer is taking 4 or 5 AP classes at a time with everything else that they do in their lives. And so when you're talking rigor for that, in many cases, some of those AP classes in high school, in my opinion, are harder than some actual college classes. Just the workload that they have in those classes is intense. And at Carter High School, we have a number of AP classes for students to take, and it's amazing to see the level of rigor that a student like Jennifer took on, and then I wouldn't say handled it with ease, because it probably wasn't easy, but they sure, especially Jennifer, really made it look easy.
Let me ask you another question real quickly. How does high school principals, and I'm sure you work with your counselors and your teachers and staff, how do they come up with this is going to be the valedictorian? Is it just your straight GPA? Do they look at the classes or the courses? Because there's some of us who don't know.
Sure, it's based on GPA, but when you take AP classes, honors classes, those GPAs are weighted a little bit. So because they're higher level courses, so you get extra grade points per se. So an A in an AP English class is different than an A in a regular English class. So students like Jennifer take all these AP classes and they end up with all these extra points in their GPA to where, if you take all regular classes and you get all A's, you end up with a 4.0. Well, in Jennifer's case, she ended up with a 4.79.
A 4.79.
4.79 because pretty much she spent her high school career, taking on the challenge and then met it with just force and handled it.
That's wonderful. How many students do you have at Carter High School that was enrolled in 2020?
Just under 2,400, about 2,350.
2,350. And out of that, you are the number one scholar, the top scholar. Let me ask you a question. What is your favorite subject?
My favorite subject is math and science.
Math and science.
Yeah.
So tell me, because I know there's going to be couple of people watching this show, tell me what your classes were from first period to sixth period and who your teachers were so we can give them a shout out.
Okay. First period, I had pharmacy clerk, and my teacher was Miss Cervantes. And then second period, I had AP government, and my teacher was Mr. De Silva. And then third period, I had AP psychology, and my teacher was Mr. Fitz. Fourth period, I had AP bio, and my teacher was Miss Sabala. And fifth period, I had AP calculus, and my teacher was Miss Stewart. And then finally, 6th period, I had AP Literature, and my teacher was Miss Roberts.
Woohoo! Let's give them a shout out because I'm sure it was challenging, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, do you have a favorite teacher?
Yes.
Who's your favorite
On
teacher?
campus, my favorite teacher is Mr. Lee. I had him junior year for Math 4 honors.
And you know Mr. Lee, of course, Dr. Anderson?
He's awesome, always with a smile on his face, right? And just, but get down to business. And a lot of kids like Jennifer love Mr. Lee.
Oh,
He's
wonderful.
pretty awesome.
Well, that's nice. There you go. Talk to me about family life. I mean, obviously, your mom, your dad, you have siblings, and where did they attend school?
My sister recently graduated from UCLA
Ooh,
last year.
excellent.
Yeah, and the rest of my siblings attended either Cal State San Bernardino or Valley College, and they've graduated already and they have their jobs and everything.
Tell us your mom and dad's name because I'm sure they're very proud.
Yeah, my mom's name is Maria Aguilar, and my dad's name is Armando Aguilar.
And then when we actually do have the ceremony and all that good stuff, you're going to be working on your speech, right?
Yes,
Yes,
of
for
course.
valedictorian. You're excited about
Yes,
that.
very.
And I want to talk to you about this because we don't want to not talk about this, the pandemic, distance learning. How is that going for you?
It's a little challenging because there's a lot of lack of motivation at home. You get very distracted and then assignments start rolling in and you start procrastinating and everything. But overall, I've been handling it pretty well.
Well, you're a self-motivating person. You don't become a valedictorian overnight. And so your parents have probably some sort of, Jennifer, do you need to get on this? Or do you have that at home? Or do you just kind of self-motivate yourself?
In elementary school and middle school, my mom was very involved, always on me to do work. But then once in high school, she kind of like let me, so I can motivate.
Because you're a young adult. Okay.
She started giving me more responsibility and letting me take advantage of all my work and everything. So, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Dr. Anderson, principal of Carter High School, as a principal of Carter High School, can you talk to us about some of the challenges during the pandemic? Because it almost seems as if there's a pandemic and everybody just stopped working, and that's not true. Actually, everybody kind of went into more overdrive because you have to have the challenges of being at home as well as still keep things up. How has it been for counselors, for teachers, and also for administration at Carter High?
I was joking with someone the other day that I feel like the work has actually multiplied, doubled,
Right.
because you're now living in a virtual world. So it's literally become 24/7. And so you're working with teachers who've never done this before. None of us have ever had to deal with this in our lifetime. So you're working with teachers who have are great in their own rights, and now they have to figure out a way to be great online, and they have to figure out a way to handle their needs with their families at home. Many of them have children, so they're working on distance learning with their own children and then trying to teach our students and learning an online platform that maybe they don't have much experience with, and now trying to teach that way. So that part has been challenging for counselors, being able to reach out to kids. It's not always easy to get a hold of everybody, whether it be via email or even phone. So you have that struggle. They're trying to get kids to graduation and make sure that they still have what they need to get to graduation. And then you compound that with the social emotional piece that kids are going through right now. Seniors that aren't getting their prom, aren't getting the senior luau's and some of those senior activities that are really important to kids and quite honestly to adults. We look forward to celebrating that time with our kids, and so just trying to figure out that and navigate that while still handling this academic piece that's out there has been a huge challenge. But I can say that I think our staff. We just had a staff meeting online yesterday, of course, is doing a magnificent job of handling it the best that they absolutely can. It's going to be a challenge from here on out until we can get through all this.
Excellent. And I love the fact that as an educator, and that's the true form of an educator, you say our kids. And I know for myself that you have a wonderful, exceptionally patient wife at home and 3 boys, right?
Yes.
Give them a shout out.
Hi
Say hello
kids,
to
how we
them.
doing? They'll be excited.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to go back to you, Jennifer. What are some of your hobbies? What are some of the things that you like to do? I know we're talking about you being the top scholar at Carter High School, and that's important because, of course, your education is your meal ticket, and we know you're going to do wonderful things. But talk to me about some of your hobbies. What are some of the things you like to do with your friends?
One thing I really enjoy is playing soccer. I played soccer freshman, sophomore, and junior year, but then I quit senior year to focus on my studies.
Good girl.
But I like hiking a lot. I just love being in the outdoors.
You're an outdoor girl.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. And do you do that with your family, with your friends, or just by yourself?
I mostly do it with my family. All of my family is very involved in sports. My dad and my brother really enjoy soccer, so that's something I can share with them.
Mm-hmm.
And my friends, we've gone hiking sometimes, like out running and just being like in the outdoors.
Now, where are you going to be going to college come fall?
I decided to attend UCR.
UCR. Excellent. So you'll still be a little local now. Are you going to be
Yeah.
at home or are you going to be in the dorms?
I still haven't decided yet.
You haven't decided. Okay. And what about your major? What do you want to do?
I want to major in microbiology.
To become a what?
I want to either become a pediatrician or I want to become an anesthesiologist.
Excellent. Now, is this a choice that you made in your senior year, or is this something you've always wanted to be a physician or a doctor?
Ever since I was little, I wanted to do something associated with like medicine. In the beginning, I wanted to become a veterinarian,
Oh.
but then I decided I couldn't handle.
So you love animals?
Yes, of course.
What kinds?
Pretty much everything.
Do you have
except-
anything at home? Any pets at home?
Yeah, I have a couple birds. I have my dogs, and that's pretty much it. But I've had other pets in the past.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, Dr. Anderson, and thank you. Dr. Anderson, I wanted to also talk a little bit about what some of the challenges are each year when you have students, something that maybe you can also talk with your parents, because I know that a lot of people think that, oh, education is about the school system, and, you know, much growing up as you in Rialto and being a product of the district as well, I remember my parents telling me education does begin at home. Do you have a message for parents because she had mentioned, Jennifer had mentioned, even as being the top scholar and being the valedictorian of her school, it's a little hard to expect parents to say, get in front of there, do this, do this. Do you have a message for parents throughout the summer and throughout how can we keep our students, our kids, motivated through distance learning and also get them ready for the fall?
Yeah, I think with distance learning piece, it's a difficult thing to navigate because I mentioned, you know, many parents are working from home. Some may not be fortunate enough to be able to continue working right now. So I think the biggest thing is take care of yourself as parents, you know, and make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And then ultimately, I have that struggle at home with my own boys and figuring out a way to try to navigate my job, my kids, because that is extremely important for my kids to keep up on their studies, and our kids, all of our students. So I think the biggest thing is don't overdo it, because when you overdo it, that leads to burnout, and then that's when you kind of throw your hands up and you say like, oh, I just don't want to do this anymore. But I think just maintain that focus and realize that yes, we're at home, but we're still working towards graduation. And I think in some respects, we're a little bit at the advantage in the high school, you know, because we're still working towards credits and we're working towards graduation. So hopefully, you know, having that as motivator helps. But ultimately, once you get into the summer a little bit, to still give kids the time off that they would normally have, you know, to a certain extent, right?
Give them a break.
Let them be kids and let them enjoy some of the things that they would normally enjoy during a time when it's not normal. You know, I think that's the biggest thing, is allow the kids to be as normal as possible.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Anderson. Jennifer, so your fondest memory, 3 years at Wilmer Amina Carter High School. I always want to say Carter High School, but I want to put in there Wilmer Amina Carter High School. She's a wonderful lady, by the way. What is your fondest memory on your campus as a Lion?
My fondest memory would either have to be participating in clubs. And
What kind of clubs?
I've been in HOSA Club, which is like a medical club, and in there we organize blood drives and we just learn a lot about like medicine. And then it would have to be my soccer practices as well, because there I not only found friends, I found a family and a support system that always helped me throughout high school. I could always count on them for anything.
That's wonderful. Dr. Anderson, what would make Carter High School so special?
There's a number of things that I think make us special. I mean, we have a great group of kids. We have kids who all have a story and come from different walks of life, and they just are a remarkable group of kids. We have, in my opinion, world-class teachers on our staff who really care about kids. We have award-winning teachers on staff like Jessica Buckle, who was recognized by the County of San Bernardino for greatness in teaching social science, not to mention several other teachers who are just at the top of their game and top of their field. And then also just the level of care that you see for kids on our campus. The atmosphere is great. The kids are supportive of each other, and then ultimately I think just the beauty of the place, of the facility. It's 15, 16 years old. It still has a newer feel to it. Campus is gorgeous, so just driving by and going in campus, that's the first thing you notice is this is a great place. So, add in a 97% graduation rate and some other good statistics that there's not enough time to even get into, but it's just a great place to be.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Anderson, for being with us. And thank you, Jennifer. I look forward to seeing you in the summer to collect your degree as valedictorian of Wilhelmina Carter High School, class of 2020.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And thank you so much. I'm Syeda Jafri, and this was the Rialto Bridge.